I built a thing. It kind of looks like the thing that was in my head, but like there's just a bunch of square bricks. I can't really do much with them.
Yeah.
I'm going to go play with these puppets now.
Now I'm going to retire to my puppet theater.
Yeah.
See, like, I never remember getting Legos as a present. I just remember always having
Everybody
like,
just had
big box of Legos.
Did
like
you
just
have that
random
weird
Legos.
like suitcase thing full of Legos? Remember when they had like
with the compartments?
Yeah.
No, I knew kids who had that.
Yeah.
But I just had like a plain old like Rubbermaid container full of random Legos.
I understand how they're like, oh, this will teach kids about engineering, but like not really. Right? Like that's a little bit of a
very
farce.
basic level.
Yeah.
Of like what
I understand, like, oh, things hook together like this.
Yeah.
Okay, you can press them together and they stay. Cool.
No, that's all engineering is.
Yeah. What am I just going to build, like, a wall?
Yeah. Well, how are we? Let's
Who
build.
am I, Donald Trump? Am I right? I'm building a wall.
We're gonna. Tim, I don't like political humor.
Well, I mean, political humor that is as trenchant as that. I think you have to take
where are
a
the
step
odds?
back and respect it at least.
That's true. Well, I do respect it. Yeah, Legos, great. I should get some Legos nowadays. I don't have any Legos.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I gonna do with Legos?
Have you been to a
Step
Lego
on 'em.
store?
Not in recent years.
Those Lego sets are like $1 million.
That's what, like, I think, a long time ago, I went into a Lego store at a mall, and I was like, oh, man, this is going to be awesome. I loved Lego as a kid, and now I'm old enough that I've got, like, some money. And, yeah, it's just like, oh, everything in here is $200. There's nothing, like, simple. Yeah. Also, when we were kids, how'd you get the minifigs? Like, they just sometimes came with
the what?
The little guys.
Oh, I don't know. Minifig. Like, I'm supposed to know what this
mini
is.
figurines.
Yeah, I understand that.
Miniature figurines.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I had, I think they just came with some of the sets. I think you just bought, like, a lot of, I'll take this box of, like, assorted blocks.
Yeah. I don't think you could buy them on their own back then.
No, because there weren't grown-ups buying them for themselves. There were grown-ups buying them for children. And they were like, I don't know, yeah, just make sure there's a few guys in there so they can
make them kiss.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I take that back. I realized that I actually have a bunch of Lego minifigs in my curio cabinet.
In your toy chest. Tom's
in my
toy chest.
cabinet of curiosities, which I bought at Comic-Con. Excuse me, I'm drunk.
I thought you bought it at IKEA.
No, the curio cabinet I bought at IKEA, but the little Lego guys I bought at Comic-Con. They're all unlicensed and unauthorized.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to call the cops on you. Forget about those guys at the smoke shop.
Well, they'll certainly come respond to that.
My favorite toys to get when I was a kid, besides the puppets, do you remember Spytech?
Yeah, Spytech.
Which Spytech doesn't exist anymore, but now it's like
Spy Gear exists.
Yeah. But the way these commercials made these Spytech tools.
But me and you weren't the target market, because the target market was kids who had older sisters that they wanted to spy on, which is kind of like a little creepy,
slumber
right?
parties.
Yeah, slumber parties.
Well, they made it look like, because like there was one thing where it was a microphone that, like, a directional microphone, like a shotgun mic, that, like, you could listen to things far away.
Right.
And, like, in the commercials, like, there's kids hiding in the bushes and they're, like, getting into their neighbor's business and stuff. And then, like, they were, like, I guess they were never really clear on the crime that these kids were investigating.
Yeah.
Like, were they investigating a murder?
Their own parents' murder.
Oh, well, all right. So this had some urgency to it.
Yeah, that's why they were like, we got to bring out the big guns.
I had that, and that's all I think I had. But there was also the one, like, it was like a black light where you could see
semen.
Recent footsteps.
Oh, I remember. Somebody I knew had that. You could see recent footsteps, but you had to get them to, like, walk through a powder first.
Yeah, and I remember there was some kid in the commercial. The kids were investigating something. I think an older sister kissing situation at the movies is what they were investigating in that commercial.
Yeah, they followed him into the movie theater.
Yeah, but they saw that there were footsteps, so they knew they were in there. It's just like, Why don't you look at the people in the movie theater?
And now
Not how
you two,
spies operate.
now
I
you
guess.
two dopes got to buy movie tickets just to get in there. Where are the parents? Parents are dead, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so basically, it's a kid trying to avenge his parents' death.
Yeah.
And just make sure his sister's going off the rails here.
Oh, she's getting mixed up with a bad crowd and drug use and these
Who
two.
knew what kind of X-rated movies they were seeing?
This boy and his friend from next door, they're just trying to nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
Keep some semblance of a family together.
So I got that. Some other friends got like other components, and we like literally.
So you had a detective agency.
Yeah, and we went door to door asking in the neighborhood, asking if there were any crimes that needed solving.
Which is something that, like, on paper sounds adorable for like a neighbor to get, but probably real annoying.
Yeah.
Because you probably like kept coming back, or like you asked and they're like, "Oh, no thanks, honey," and then you're like, "All right, well, let's bug the house."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's go hide in their bushes for an hour.
What
just
have
to
they
make
got
sure.
to hide? Yeah. Why were they so quick to dismiss the detectives that showed up, the spies that showed up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those were I hate to say it, ultimately useless toys. They didn't they didn't solve one murder, Tom.
Yeah. A lot of grand larceny, but no murders. I don't think I had any spy tech things because I think my parents successfully talked me out of like, that stuff doesn't work like that. It's not that good.
Ah.
And I'd be like, yeah, but I want it. And they're like, nope, it's not good. Like, that thing's just a green flashlight. It's not anything else. I'm like, all right.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, they would have to try and talk me out of it, like, over my probably like incessant screaming. But they'd distract me with something else. They'd probably be like, "Don't you want to just play video games?"
that's
like
the thing. Just if a kid wants something, just distract them with something else.
Yeah, candy.
Video games.
Yeah, candy or
Soda.
video games. Soda.
McDonald's. Nerf. They still make Nerf is probably
Nerf's
going.
bigger than ever, Tim. They sell Nerf to adults nowadays.
I'll tell you one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think Nerf peaked?
I don't think it's peaked yet. I think it's still on the way up.
So for a minute, it was just like soccer balls.
Yeah,
right?
it was just sports equipment.
Yeah. And
Before
then,
they got the idea about the darts.
Then it all changed. You know what? You can cut off anything that happened after the straight up Nerf bow and arrow. That thing is a perfect toy because, like, you get a bunch of arrows, you shoot them, it never hurts, but like it's like skillful, right? Like
Yeah,
you can get
bit.
like really good at it.
It
like,
wasn't like a real bow. It was like you pulled it back and it clicked, and then you like press a button.
No, Tom, not at all.
It was not like just a string.
No, it was a tube with
Yeah.
strings. The strings didn't actually do anything.
Right, that's what I'm
But
saying.
it was spring loaded. You
Oh,
pulled it
okay,
back,
yeah.
and then you let go.
Yeah.
And then the air puffed out the front
Right.
and shot the arrow out. But those arrows went a long way.
They sure did, yeah.
So you could do so much with it. You could like play games with it. You could just shoot your friends from like an inch away, and that kind of hurts when you hit them in the
Yeah.
face, right? Like it was perfect. Then they started coming out with the ones with the suction cups, and like like it had like a bandolier and stuff on there. It was like, nah, I don't care about any of that stuff. Just the Nerf bow and arrow. Probably, for my money, Tim's top to teen toy pick for 2016. The original Nerf bow and arrow.
You probably can't even get it anymore.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
eBay.
Yeah, maybe.
Comic-Con, maybe?
No, you can't get it at Comic-Con.
It's an old toy, Tom.
Yeah, but you know what? Old Nerf toys, like, they biodegrade. They do not.
Yeah, that's true.
They do not last, which is good. Good for the environment.
Yeah.
You can eat them when you're done with them.
Yeah. I bet a bunch of dogs have died from eating Nerf, though. It probably sops up all like the necessary acids in your stomach, right?
Maybe it sops up all the poisons.
That's true. All right, so if your dog ever drinks poison, make him eat a Nerf football afterwards.
Do you remember when the Nerf like spiral footballs came out?
Yeah, I remember the Nerf spiral footballs, Tom.
Yeah, that was a big deal. That was,
Nerf is
like,
a pretty great company, huh?
Yeah.
I think they diluted their brand. I think they tried to grow too big. And, like, look, it's good for them. It's bad for the purists like you and I.
Well, maybe. So are you proposing they start some kind of like Nerf Originals line?
Why the hell not? Everybody else is doing it to appeal to millennial idiots like us.
It's true. Retro Nerf line.
Retro Nerf would be amazing. You get the crew.
It's
Omar
a monthly
Gooding.
subscription.
You get who were the other
Donnie
kids?
Jeffcoat.
Donnie Jeffcoat. You reboot Wild and Crazy Kids on Nickelodeon, where they always use those Nerf bow and arrows
That's
for
true.
things.
But I don't think they had like a Nerf sponsorship.
No, they always had to tape over
Yeah,
the man.
sad.
That show was low budget as hell.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I didn't even realize
They
it.
just like went to some the producer's backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. People don't know what we're talking about.
Good for them. What
Yeah.
wild and crazy. What wild and crazy.
Yeah. Omar Gooding, the brother of Cuba Gooding Jr.,
And Donnie Jeffcoat. And then
the brother of Don Jeffcoat, the founder of our country.
Don Jeffcoat.
I'm kidding.
Donnie
I'm kidding.
Jeffcoat was the brother of Don Jeffcoat.
Yeah.
Wow, that is something to wrap your mind around.
That's why they called him Donnie.
Did you ever have a Teddy Ruxpin?
Yeah, I had a Teddy Ruxpin, Tim.
Yeah, me too, but it was always kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, well, it wasn't interactive.
Yeah.
It was just a tape player with like a mouth that would kind of move, not necessarily in sync. How'd
Right.
that mouth work? Was there like a different track on the tape that would tell the tape? Because if you put other tapes in, did the mouth work?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it did,
I
too.
think it was one of those things where, I mean, it wasn't enunciating anything, right? Like, it wasn't making
Yeah, it
like
was
a
just like,
different mouth. It just went like,
"Meh."
vent, 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 open, close, open, close, open, close. So I think it was set up where, like,
on
if-
peaks.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If there's sound coming through,
Open up
make
that
the
mouth.
motor run, yeah.
Didn't he have like a friend who was a worm or something?
Yeah, that sounds
Centipede?
familiar.
Yeah. And I think you could get both of them and play the tapes together. And I remember like I really wanted that. And my parents were like, no.
It doesn't work like that, you idiot.
Yeah. They're like, you got, I remember I had little Teddy Ruxpin toys. Maybe it was my brother. That were like, I don't know why. It just in my head, they were so amazing. They were so well made. That was a weird show. You ever watch Teddy Ruxpin?
Hell no.
He was like, he had like a flying ship, like Super Mario Brothers 3.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, they made him like technologically advanced?
No, it was like a flying wooden ship.
Yeah,
It was
I
very
understand.
strange. I don't understand what. Like, was this supposed to be a different planet? Is this supposed to coexist with human beings?
What do you think was like the MO when they were like, okay, we're hiring writers, and like probably just everybody in Hollywood wanted to write on sitcoms, right? They wanted to like get that.
I thought
coveted,
you were
like,
saying everybody wanted to write on Teddy Ruxpin. Steven Spielberg was banging down their door.
you know, like they were like, let me get that Family Ties money, right? Like, let me get that Cheers money, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, you got to work your way up. Like, start on like the kid shows or whatever, get
Yeah.
some experience. Do you think they just went in and it's like, all right, Teddy Ruxpin, light up a doobie and just let the.
I think it was
let
like
your freak
drop
fly
some
fly?
fucking acid and let's
Let's build this flying pirate ship and
let's drop some acid.
sail it to the goddamn moon.
Outline 10 seasons worth of Teddy Ruxpin stuff. And yeah, when I watch those old cartoons, like I haven't watched the old Teddy Ruxpin cartoons, but even just thinking about it, I'm like, what the hell were the plots of Teddy Ruxpin? Was there like love interests? Sorry, there's a motorcycle going
There's
by.
a cool guy outside.
Like love interests? Were there the danger, peril? There were bad guys. I remember there were bad guys.
Who wanted to harm Teddy? He just told his stories. Leave him alone.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was one of those situations where it was like the bad guys wanted to get him, or if it was like, they had plans to take over the world and Teddy Ruxpin always had to stop them. What the hell's Teddy Ruxpin going to do? He's a portly little talking teddy bear.
Yeah. I think you might be kind of confusing him with Winnie the Pooh a little bit. Because, like, Teddy Ruxpin was, like, kind of wizened. He was kind of like, gather around and I'll tell you a tale.
Yeah. He
Like
wore that
kind
weird vest.
He did have a weird vest. Did he have little glasses, or am I
No,
imagining
no.
this? Okay.
I think his eyes could move, though.
Yeah.
And the vest, you could, like, take off the back. That's where you put the tapes in. I think
Yeah.
probably because They probably had him just like a regular bear, and then they're like, oh, some of the kids screamed when we, had to like rip open his skin to put a new tape in.